All right, good afternoon, everybody. We will get started. My name is Isaac Reichman. I am the Director of Public Information for the City of Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. As a reminder, please make sure that your microphone is on mute for the duration of this presentation. We have a high number of attendees, and in order to make sure that the presentation goes smoothly and is understandable for everybody, I will ask that you please keep your microphone on mute. If you want to submit questions, you can do so via the chat, and I will do my best to answer those questions either through the course of the presentation or if we have time at the end. I will also give you information during the presentation on how you can get more detailed questions answered that will not be covered during this presentation. So again, as a reminder, please put your microphone on mute. So, as I said, my name is Isaac Reichman, and I am the Director of Public Information for the City of Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. I'm here today to talk about the Chicago Small Business Resiliency Fund. This is an emergency loan fund that will provide over $100 million in low interest loans to small businesses in the city of Chicago that have been affected by the COVID-19 crisis. This fund was created under the leadership of Mayor Lightfoot, City Treasurer Conyers Ervin, and the Chief Financial Officer for the City of Chicago. It is administered by BACP, Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, through Community Development Financial Institution Partners, Axione, and CRF, the Community Reinvestment Fund. These CDFI partners are uniquely experienced and able to provide the underwriting and the support for these small business loans. Applications will be accepted beginning March 31st, 2020, so beginning yesterday. And the applications are available now, www.chicagoresiliencyfund.com. I recommend all of you, if you are interested in this fund, to bookmark that page and head to that page immediately to begin your application. Just want to make clear what this loan fund does. This is a stopgap measure to provide immediate cash flow for businesses affected by COVID-19. I want to make it clear that this is something brand new and unprecedented, that the City of Chicago has never done something like this before. We have activated all of our resources in an expedited process, unlike anything we have ever done before, to try to get these loans out as soon as possible. So all of the information that I will be covering in this webinar is also available at chicagoresiliencyfund.com. And you can submit your application today at that website. So an overview of the loan terms. These are low interest loans for a term of up to 5 years. Here are the details on the interest rate. The fixed annual rate on the loan will be 1% for the first 18 months of the loan. After 18 months, the rate will increase to 5.75%. We know that there is a very difficult time right now. So for the first 6 months of this loan, the only payment will be a nominal payment of $10 a month. There will not be any interest payment during the first 6 months. For the next 6 months, for months 7 through 12, there will be interest-only payments. There will not be any payments on the principal. For month 13 and thereafter, the payments will be the monthly principal along with the interest rate. I will go back to repeat this information on the interest rate, and it can also, again, be found at chicagoresiliencyfund.com. The loan amount will be up to $50,000, but will be sized based on your revenues, based on the 3-month average monthly revenues before the COVID-19 outbreak. $100 million fund, as I said, but there are thousands and thousands of businesses in the city of Chicago. So the intention here is to make sure that you have enough money as a stopgap measure to get through this difficult time. There will be and there is additional funding available from other resources. This goal is to make sure that this is going for the for that immediate stopgap measures right now. The loan proceeds. The proceeds are required to be used for working capital. At least 50% of the proceeds should be toward payroll, and there is a commitment from the applicant to retain the workforce at least 50% of the pre-COVID-19 levels. Now, we understand that many businesses are forced to be closed during this time due to the stay-at-home order, so there will be some flexibility in getting back up to those 50% of those pre-COVID-19 levels for your workforce. Before I move on, I want to make sure that everybody is able to hear me clearly. So if you are able to hear, if you can please add to the chat. I want to make sure that everybody is hearing this smoothly and we can correct any problems if necessary. Thank you. So as I promised, is a little bit more detail on the interest rate. Again, this information can be found for you to read at your leisure at chicagoresiliencyfund.com. Here is some examples, and I'll keep this slide open for a little bit so you folks can take a look, of the monthly payment for a $50,000 loan and for a $20,000 loan. As I said, for the first 6 months of the loan, the monthly payment will only be $10, no matter what the size of your loan. That is just required to maintain the account. For the next 7 to 12 months, there will be 1% interest on the loan. So you will only be paying your interest rate during that time. After 12 months, you will be paying monthly principal and 1% interest. So for 13 to 18 months, that will be that 1% interest. And for 19 months to 5 years, it will be that 5.75% interest. Again, the loan will have a 1% interest rate for the first 18 months and a 5.75% interest rate for the duration of the loan. And for the first 6 months, the only payment required will be a $10 a month principal, while for 6 months to 12 months, it will be interest only, and then you will begin paying the principal. As a reminder, I'll say it again, all this information can be found at chicagoresiliencyfund.com. Great. So now that we've talked about the terms, I want to go over the requirements for businesses to be eligible for this. First, businesses must have suffered more than a 25% revenue decrease due to COVID-19. They must be small businesses, so they must employ fewer than 50 employees and have a gross revenue of less than $3 million in 2019. And I will go over in a minute how you will prove these requirements. At least 50% of your employees must reside within the city of Chicago. Again, the business must be a City of Chicago business. So in order to prove that, you must provide either a Chicago business address or a City of Chicago business license. We understand that not every business, depending on their type, has a City of Chicago business license. So we will have some flexibility there. You must have no pre-existing tax liens or legal judgment. And you must be in operation for at least 1 year at the time of closing on this loan. So I will repeat these and keep the slide up for 1 more minute. You must have suffered more than 25% revenue decrease due to COVID-19. You must employ fewer than 50 employees and have gross revenues of less than $3 million in 2019. You must have at least 50% of employees in the City of Chicago. You must provide a city business address or city business license and have no pre-existing tax liens or legal judgments. Finally, you must be in operation for at least 1 year. So how to apply? Again, I've said it 4 times, I'll say it more. Please apply today at chicagoresiliencyfund.com. Applications are being accepted on a first come, first served basis. So please apply today. When you go, and at the end of this webinar, I will take you to chicagoresiliencyfund.com so you can see what it looks like. When you go to apply, you will be asked a series of questions that will then connect you to a lender. So I ask that you start that process as soon as possible. As I said, applications are being accepted on a first come, first served basis. However, there will be some steps taken to ensure equity of distribution of these loan funds. That includes equity across different industries, equity across different income levels, and equity across different community areas around the city of Chicago. So, first come, first served basis with a portion of the funds set aside to ensure equity. So, as part of the application, what do you need to provide? As I said, you will need to provide a valid business address, so you need proof that your business is located within the city of Chicago. You will need a valid business license. Again, if applicable, we know that not all businesses require a City of Chicago business license. You'll need your bank statements dating back to 2019, with the intention of this, again, showing that you have suffered an impact on your revenues due to COVID-19, and to help size the loan right based on your revenues. You'll need your most recent tax return. So we know that the tax day has been pushed back. We know that many of you have not filed your 2019 taxes. Therefore, your 2018 taxes will suffice. You will also need a photo ID of the loan applicant, the business owner. If there are two business owners with 50% of the ownership, we will only need one photo ID for the applicant. Finally, the loan applicant will be subject to a debt check by the City of Chicago. This debt check will check for debt owed to the City of Chicago. If you do owe debt, there will be an opportunity for you to enter into a payment plan with the City of Chicago in order to make sure that you are able to participate in this loan. Again, apply today, chicagoresiliencyfund.com. We know that there are lots of questions and a lot of people looking for application support during this process. The City of Chicago partners with 67 local neighborhood business development centers. These NBDCs are local chambers of commerce, business service organizations, and other community groups that receive support from the City of Chicago in order to provide business support within the neighborhoods. We have reached out to a number of different NBDCs to ensure that they are ready to assist in application support in other languages as needed for this fund. To find that full list of NBDCs that can assist you with your application, visit www.chicago.gov/NBDC. There, you will find a list of all the NBDCs, and you will also find a list of the specific ones ready to provide support on this fund, including languages that they can support for this application. Additionally, for some of the more specific questions directly related to your business, Resiliency Fund itself has set up a team of experts ready to guide applicants through the application. If you again go to chicagoresiliencyfund.com, you can find a web form on the FAQ page, and through that web form, you can submit questions directly to the team of experts from the Resiliency Fund. They have an entrepreneurial support team there that can help answer your questions. Before I get into more details and more questions on the loan fund, I want to make sure that you are all aware of the different opportunities that are available to you. The City of Chicago available financing is not the only option. The state of Illinois has created their own emergency support as well. Their loans are available for businesses that are not located within the city of Chicago. However, they have a grant program for bars, restaurants, and hotels that have been affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. Those applications are available through today, April 1st. If you are a bar, a restaurant, or a hotel impacted by COVID-19, please visit illinois.gov/DCEO. Those grant applications will be handled via lottery. So please submit your application for a grant if you are a bar, restaurant, or hotel today. Additionally, if you are a business that is not located within the city of Chicago, you can also visit illinois.gov/DCEO, and you can learn more about loans available through the state of Illinois there. Additionally, the U.S. Small Business Administration has been providing small business assistance through the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. Loans available for up to $2 million to help with small businesses. These loans are already available through the SBA, Small Business Administration, and you can apply at sba.gov/disaster. Additionally, and it's not up here yet, but through the recently passed and signed CARES Act, there will be additional loans available through the U.S. Small Business Administration, the SBA. You may have heard about these loans potentially being forgivable if the money is used for payroll. The information for that and how to apply is still forthcoming, but we will make sure to update all of you when more information is available. Additionally, when you apply for the Small Business Resiliency Loan Fund through ChicagoResiliencyFund.com, we'll make sure that you have the information as it is available for the other funding opportunities. In addition to funding and financing, I want to make sure that you are all aware of additional resources that you can find. For ongoing updates, for everything that you need to know in Chicago related to coronavirus, please visit chicago.gov/coronavirus. This page should be bookmarked and visited regularly. All information you need as a resident, as a consumer, as an interested citizen, and as a business can be found at chicago.gov/coronavirus. Included here is information regarding the stay-at-home order, how to know if you're an essential or an inessential business. Also, there's updated guidance that the health department has put together for what you as a business owner need to know related to COVID-19, including what to do if one of your employees has a confirmed case of COVID-19. Additionally, on that website, you can go to the resources section, and it has all the resources you need to know for businesses, for employees, for everything that you need to know there. Additionally, as a standalone page, BACP has created a resource center specifically for businesses, consumers, and employees. Please visit chicago.gov/BACP COVID-19. I want to repeat, your local business, neighborhood business development center, many of them will have resources available for you during this time. Please visit chicago.gov/NBDC for more information. Finally, ChiBiz Hub has put together a resource page for small businesses. Please visit chibizhub.com/COVID-19 support. Finally, one additional thing, and I will add it to the chat so you folks can have that link since it is not on the webpage. If you are interested in additional support and additional webinars, please visit chicago.gov/business workshops. We will have additional webinars available on more items other than just this fund. For example, this afternoon at 3 o'clock, Axion will be holding a webinar on everything related to financing that you need for your small business. Axion is one of the lenders in this program, and they can provide very detailed answers to questions and support for folks to help folks navigate the entire world of financing for their business. Finally, I want to provide a couple additional updates from the city of Chicago. First, The City of Chicago has deferred business tax payments until April 30th, 2020. To find out exactly what that means about your business, please log into chicagobusinessdirect.org. Additionally, again, I will point you to chicago.gov/coronavirus. CDPH, the Chicago Department of Public Health, has released updated guidance for businesses and employers. Please listen to the guidance from the health department. Please make sure that you are getting your information about this directly from the health department. Those are your experts. Finally, BACP, we are the folks that issue licenses and regulate businesses. Our offices are closed just like other offices in the city of Chicago. However, we can and will continue processing business licenses either online or over the phone. Visit chicagobusinessdirect.org or 312-74-GO-BIZ. Please note, just like business taxes, that license late fees and renewal fees will be deferred until April 30th, 2020. So I will go over some of the important information again, but I do want to make sure that I've seen some questions come through, and I want to make sure that I'm able to answer some of those questions. Great. So I will, while I answer some of the questions, I will keep this how to apply page up so folks can see this. One question I saw come through was a question about seasonal businesses that perhaps had high or always going through a revenue downturn during that time. We will be taking into account that information, and we will be able to kind of adjust your loan based on that. We're getting questions if there's one employee, if they can still go about and apply for the loan. We recommend that everybody get their loan application in. There will potentially be some opportunities. We will be trying to make sure that there is a balance in the loan dispersal, as I said, equitably across different business types. But please do submit your information as soon as possible. I saw some questions. I know that I mentioned, just to make sure to clarify the difference between the Illinois grant program for restaurants, hotels, and bars. So again, there is a grant program for hotels, restaurants, and bars through the state of Illinois. This City of Chicago loan program is not just for hotels, restaurants, and bars. This can be for any different type of business. Someone asked if I could elaborate on the flexibility of getting back to 50% employment. These Accione and CRF are community development financial institutions that are used to working directly and flexibly with small businesses. So as part of the underwriting of your specific loan with the lenders, I want to make sure that they will be working directly with you to find a schedule to make that work. For additional questions, I want to make sure that you guys know, and for some of these specific questions that I see coming in for your specific business, I want to make sure that everybody knows where they can submit those specific questions via web form directly to our CDFI partners to make sure that they can answer those questions. So I'm going to exit out of the PowerPoint screen real quick. And if you go again to chicagoresiliencyfund.com, you will see this page. Here you will find an overview of the Resiliency Fund, including a button to apply now. You will also find an overview of the terms and requirements, which includes all the information that I just talked about in order for you to submit the application. You will also see a frequently asked questions section. Under the frequently asked questions, there is a question for what if I need help completing my small business loan application? Here, you will see that the Resiliency Fund, as I said, has a team of experts ready to guide you through the application. You can click on the, oh, it sounds like folks aren't seeing this, so let me make sure that you are seeing this. I apologize. Can folks see the computer screen here? Great. How about now? Can you see my computer screen? I apologize about that. We're all figuring out how webinars work. So let me scroll back up. And again, if you go to chicagoresiliencyfund.com, this is what you will see. Here, you can find an overview of the fund, terms and requirements, and frequently asked questions. If you scroll down on frequently asked questions, there is a question, the fifth one down. What if I need help completing my small business loan application? Here you can click on an English contact page or a Spanish contact page to submit your questions directly to the entrepreneurial experts with our CDFIs. Additionally, on the bottom of every page and over on the side, you can click Apply for the Chicago Small Business Resiliency Loan. I recommend, again, that everybody do this as soon as possible. Here you will have a series of questions to make sure that you are eligible, and then you will be connected as quickly as possible with lenders to help you get this loan up and running as soon as possible. So again, bookmark this page. If you haven't gone yet, please go now, chicagoresiliencyfund.com. If you have some specific questions, either submit them through the web form, but I encourage folks, if you're not 100% sure that you qualify or not, we encourage everybody to get the application in. It's important that you do it, again, as soon as possible. And before we wrap up, I want to make sure that you all see the resources that are available at chicago.gov/coronavirus. Here, you will find information. This is the Coronavirus Response Center for the City of Chicago. Everything you need to know as a resident of Chicago, how to protect yourself, what to do if you're sick, how to volunteer, how to listen directly to the health commissioner. Additionally, if you go to the second tab over, you will see some frequently asked questions about the stay-at-home order. This is something that I encourage all businesses to become very, very familiar with. Next, we have a resources page. This I also would like all businesses to become familiar with. On the top of this resource page, you will see a link for guidance for businesses and employers. If you click on that link, it will take you to up-to-date information from the health department. Also, if you scroll down, you can find different resources on health, food, housing, schools and youth, immigrant communities, and finally, employment and financial support. This is where you can find information either if you are an employee looking for unemployment benefits, or if you are looking for more information about funding. As soon as the Small Business Administration releases up-to-date guidance for their new loan fund, we will share that information here. Additionally, as I said, there is a link directly to BACP's COVID-19 resource page. Here you can find updates and resources directly for small businesses affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. Again, I encourage everybody, if I did not get to every question that came through, it's past 12:30, so I need to start wrapping up. I encourage everybody to please go to chicagoresiliencyfund.com and submit your questions directly to the entrepreneurial support staff at our CDFIs. So I will then wrap up. If you have any questions, please, you can email also bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. Again, I want to plug our additional webinars. We will have a webinar this afternoon at 3 o'clock that will be held by Axiom, who is one of the lenders in this program. And they can and they can walk you through everything you need about finances for your business. Thank you very much.